Human trafficking is a major issue in our world today, and the purpose of this video is to discuss the causes and consequences of human trafficking on a national and global scale, cultural perspectives, as well as solutions and conclusions. So, what is human trafficking? According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, human trafficking is defined as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, or deception with the aim of exploiting them for profit. Approximately 27.6 million people were estimated to be in forced labor at any given time in 2021. Among them, 17.3 million are exploited in the private sector, 6.3 million in forced commercial sectoral exploitation, and 3.9 million in forced labor. The average age of people being trafficked is around 12 to 15 years old. It is shocking to think that this is happening to so many people at such a high rate and at such a young age. From a survey we conducted, we have concluded that most people have a general understanding of what human trafficking is, yet some are still unclear of the real situation.
There are a few major causes of human trafficking. Firstly, political stability. People live in constant fear because of war, civil unrest, political conflict, violence, lawlessness, and natural disasters. These create unstable conditions that make it difficult for you to earn a living or survive. This may cause them to fall for bribes or sketchy job deals as they are simply desperate for a job. Parents or guardians may be unable to protect and guide children when they are separated from their families. Secondly, gender identity might be another factor. Inequality between men and women is a result of differences in opportunities based on gender. Most cultures view women as inferior to men, pay women less for equal work, deny them rights, limit their access to health, education, and these require them to be submissive to men. This leaves them vulnerable to exploitation by human traffickers. Lastly, poverty is also another cause of human trafficking. As a result of poverty, despair is created. Those who traffic vulnerable individuals are specifically targeting poor and marginalized communities in order to give them false hope that they can improve their situation. As a result, these individuals are more likely to take greater risks in order to provide for their families and themselves. Traffickers may target indigenous populations in many countries due to their marginalization.
Human trafficking in Thailand dates back to the Vietnam War, when thousands of US military personnel came to Thailand. Many women in Thailand saw the opportunity to help provide for their families through sex work. From then on, Thailand's sex tourism exploded. With the increasing demand in the sex industry, sex trafficking has become more and more common. Sex trafficking mainly started in the northeastern part of Thailand, the poorest region, where they offered young girls the promise of honest work, only to then trick them and sell them afterwards.
The repercussions of human trafficking can be extremely severe and traumatizing. In terms of mental trauma, in addition to depression and anxiety disorders, there are somatic conditions, such as disabling physical pain or dysfunction, which can also result in depression and thoughts of suicide. Physical injuries are also common among victims. Sexually exploited people are often abused by their traffickers and customers. They may be raped, beaten, and subjected to abuse over a long period of time. A number of illnesses, including sexually transmitted diseases, infections, diabetes, cancer, and others, are also more prevalent. When these conditions are not treated properly, they can spread and worsen, resulting in permanent health consequences.
The Thai government is strengthening programs and budgets for help centers, imposing stronger judicial penalties and labor restrictions, and providing advanced training in court personnel, law enforcement, and prosecutors. The Exodus Road is one of the NGOs actively fighting human trafficking in Thailand. A total of 479 survivors of sex trafficking were freed, and 127 traffickers were arrested between 2012 and 2021 through the Exodus Road. In 2021, the Exodus Road Thailand opened Freedom Home, a safe house and survivor care center. Survivors of sex trafficking get trauma-informed therapy, medical care, life life skill classes, education, and entrepreneurship training. There are a number of solutions to these problems. Although it is hard to combat this major issue easily, the UN is aiming to prevent human trafficking in a few steps. Human trafficking can be prevented and prosecuted by recognizing its complexity, from improving female education in source countries to increasing police pay in destination countries to reducing corruption among officers. Anti-trafficking strategies must be incorporated into every policy area. We cannot marginalize the issue of trafficking, viewing it as something that can be ended with a few extra task forces or dedicated units. It is essential that everyone understands how it affects them and what they can do about it. In the year 2000, the United Nations adopted the Protocol to Prevent, Suppress, and Punish Trafficking in Persons, which provides a victim-centered approach to combating trafficking. 177 countries have signed it since then.
In conclusion, human trafficking is a major issue that should be more frequently talked about. Although we may not be able to directly do anything about it, we can still be aware of the issues and further educate ourselves and others on this problem.